I'm beginning to understand that it's important that we be careful about what we pray for. And I don't mean that in the sense that, if we just, we should, in terms of, movies and different things like that, where someone wishes for, something, but then they end up really not enjoying that thing. But I also kind of mean that to an extent. I mean in the sense of both qualities and then also physical things that we could desire. I'm starting to understand that in praying for a specific attribute, let's say patience, for example, God doesn't just give us patience. He doesn't change us so that we have patience. Instead, he puts us in scenarios that test our patience, that give us the opportunity to be patient, to grow our patience, rather than just instilling that quality within us. And the same thing applies to any quality. If we pray to be more loving people, to be smarter people, to be more intelligent, to be more peaceful, to be more kind, then God doesn't give us these qualities. He gives us opportunities where we can grow those qualities. So it's about understanding that you should be careful what you pray for, not in the sense that you should be worried about these things, but rather that you should understand exactly how God will give them to you. God won't just instill patience. God won't just change you. He'll give you opportunities to change. And that goes along with the whole faith that works is dead work. Because we can't just ask for patience and then do no work in order to obtain that patience. We need to ask for the patience. Then when God gives us a scenario to be patient people, that's when we finally are tested, and that's when we finally have the ability to be patient, to grow our patience, and to live a more patient lifestyle. So it's about recognizing that we should be careful what we pray for, not in a cautionary sense, but in a sense that so much of what we ask for, God will give us scenarios where we're given the opportunity to express the qualities that we want, rather than just outright giving us those qualities to begin with. And on the other hand, I also think it's important that we be careful what we pray for in terms of different things that we could desire, even outside of the qualities of our own character. In the sense that if you ask God for something, then he may give it to you just to show you that it's not really what you want. He may give you a certain circumstance, a certain situation, a certain item, even just in a physical sense, to show that it's not really what you want, it's not really what you were looking for. And he may give you that thing just to then take it away, to teach you a lesson. Because, God knows everything about us. There's a thing that says, oh, God knows my heart. He does, but he also knows the truest form of your heart. He knows the truest form of your soul, the truest form of your spirit, even beyond what you could know about yourself. So it's about recognizing that God doesn't test us for him. He tests us for us. He tests us so that we can recognize that regardless of the circumstance that we find ourselves in, whether it's very positive or very negative in the physical world, in the flesh, that's not all that there is. He tests us so that we can always go back to him, and we always recognize how important it is to go back to him, rather than relying on ourselves and on our own might. So it's about recognizing that we should be careful what we pray for, in the sense that we should rely less on our own intelligence, on our own wisdom, and we should rely on God's understanding. That's why whenever I pray, I always like to say, God, just let your will be done throughout it all. Because I know that his will surpasses my own understanding. He knows everything. He knows the good and the bad. He knows everything that could happen, everything that will happen, everything that has happened. So he knows what's truly right for me and what's truly not. It's in the sense that imagine that there was a fork in the road, and there are two different paths that you can take. On your own understanding, you want to go to the right path, because that'll get you to your destination shorter. But then on the left path, it may be longer. God may take us down that longer path, not because he wants us to get there shorter or in a longer period of time, but because if you took that shorter path, you'd get into a car accident. But that's not something that we understand. It's not something that we as human beings can possibly know. But it's something that God knows. So it's not about relying on our own understanding, our own intelligence, but it's about relying on God's understanding, God's intelligence, God's wisdom. And it's about substantiating that whenever we pray and whatever we ask for. That's why even when I pray for anything that I do desire, even outside of just personal qualities, even if it is a physical situation or physical circumstance. I always ask God that if it is for me, let it be my portion. If there's anything that is meant for me, may it be mine. And if it's not meant for me, may it not be mine. Because I know that his understanding surpasses my own. I know that if I'm not meant to have something, then there's a reason why I'm not meant to have it. Because God won't just deny us something because it'll make us happier. That doesn't make sense. He denies us something because he loves us. He denies us something because he knows that it's not truly what we need. It's not truly what we desire. It's not truly what will make us happy. So it's about recognizing that God's understanding surpasses our own. And it's about recognizing that a lot of times when we pray for something, God may not necessarily outright give that thing to us, but he may give us circumstances. He may give us situations where we can instill that, where we can substantiate it for ourselves. The Bible verse I have for this video is taken from Romans 5, verse 3-4. And it says, "Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope." So I think this verse is just a very good example of what I was saying, in the sense that God may not outright give us perseverance. He may not outright give us character. He may not outright give us hope. But through suffering, he allows us to build these traits. You know, it's almost in the sense that, oh, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But that God will put you in circumstances that don't kill you so that you may become stronger. So if you ask to be strong, then it's not about complaining about the circumstances where you can be stronger, but it's about going through those circumstances that you can become stronger. So I hope you took something from this video. This is just something I'm understanding a lot more. Just being careful and being more conscious about what I'm praying for. And throughout it all, always substantiating that, you know, God's will be done over mine. God's understanding kind of take control, and everything come to pass as he has ordained and not as necessarily what I want to happen, at least right now. So, yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you took something from this video. Have a great day.